Welcome home, Raiders. Tonight, we're doing something that we've never done before. We're letting a raid team raid CTR. This is Convert to Raid number 357.
You're listening to Convert to Raid. Convert to Raid. The podcast for raiders in the world of Warcraft.
Whoa, there we go. All right. Hi, everybody, from the CTR Command Post in Sacramento, California. Today is July, 16th, 2019, and it is now 7:15 in the PM. Right on time, as always. My name is Pat Krane. Welcome from all around the world of Warcraft and beyond. And as always, we have more players than we can count right now. Actually, because I can't count to 4, I guess. First up, from Lagging Balls, we have Thyst. Hello, Thyst. Oh, wait, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I had you muted. What? So, welcome.
I said hello, Patrick.
Hello.
Thanks for muting me.
Sorry,
nice.
It was just, there's a lot of folks here, and there's a lot of different noises and headsets and blah, blah,
Sure.
blah, all this
You
kind
got
of stuff.
spooked.
So.
I understand. If this is too much for you to handle, you can go take a hike if you need to.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I got it.
Sure.
And I also want to bring it, so we're doing something weird tonight, right?
Not
You and
that
me.
weird.
It's a little strange. We've never done this before on CTR. We're actually invited your raid team.
I mean, 2 of them.
A couple of them. So let's bring them in. We have Cellvian and Alex. Welcome, guys, and thanks for joining us tonight.
Hello, Pat.
Hello.
Hi.
I miss your face so much.
Oh boy. So I'm gonna give here's a big applause for you guys. I'm gonna knock out that music. So and of course we've hung out at BlizzCon and we've played together and all that kind of stuff. So it's good to have you guys here. And I miss your face too, Cell.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. You bet.
You guys have such a special relationship.
Yes, isn't it though?
Ever since that one night in front of the Hilton.
Ugh.
Remember?
Tell me about it.
By the hand.
Mm.
Went
Yeah.
up to your hotel room.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean,
It's pretty intense. Time at BlizzCon. So,
Isn't it always?
well, welcome guys. Welcome Twitch chat. Welcome to all you guys at home or at work or wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining us. We're gonna get into kind of some stuff tonight about the raid, really.
all right.
About a Turtle Palace and kind of get your guys' takes on it and see what kind of hot takes and tips you have as far as what you saw this last week. But before we do that, let's get to know you guys a little bit. So, Alex, I want to start with you. Hi.
Hi.
Nice to see you. And I understand you've got a little bit of a cold.
I do.
All right, so we'll take it easy on you. We'll be a little bit mellow with you.
I won't.
For
Alex, who are you? What are you doing here?
I guess I'm the strategist behind our kills.
Very
Yes.
cool.
I'll give him
He's
that.
the one putting together Google Docs on what we need to do when specific specs and roles is just you should be doing this and you should be doing that and what was the document you wrote before Eternal Palace drop rating and you a guide or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And then we had
I
to
don't remember
sign
the name
it
of
to make sure that we read it.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
That's extreme. So Alex, as the strategist, how are you guys doing in Eternal Palace right now? Did you clear normal?
Almost. We got 7 out of 9.
Hey,
7 out of 8.
congratulations. That's pretty good. That's not bad. That's not bad. So, you're a 2-night-a-week raid team, so that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know that I got in and did some stuff on Thursday night, and it was just 4 bosses, but that's that felt good to get in there and just get into the new raid.
You.
Yeah,
It's better than you.
right.
Just
Right.
saying.
Right.
I mean,
no,
I'm personally 2 out of 8 heroic, so.
What? Nice. That's good. So how would you rate Eternal Palace, just in general?
I love it. I love the raid.
Okay. All right. Cool. And Cell, what are you doing for the team these days? Are you tanking? Or are you maging? Or what are you doing?
No, I'm tanking it. Unfortunately, it's rough.
So do you
I've had
not
to switch between?
So
no,
you
I
don't
tanked since like BC, right? I tanked since BC, and up until like WoD was a good expansion to tank, I guess, with a Paladin at least. But I stopped tanking since then, and now I'm back at it, and it is just finding routes to do it again, and like motivation to even do world quests in prot gear is rough.
So you're paladin, you're prop paladin for the tank side of things, and
monk.
But you've done that off and on, whether it was for mythics or whatever, right? So
Yeah,
you're not totally out of practice.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, but he's still an amazing tank, and that's how we met him in the first place. He was we pugged him in. It was High Mall. We pugged him in High Mall. He was completely just like, were you like wasted or something? And you're just like, okay, we're doing twins, and we're like, we've never done twins, and you're like, it's easy, come on. And he's like, he guided us through twins, and we got them down, and we're like, oh my god, this pug is amazing, and he just tanked and everything. Like, it was meant to be.
That's good. That's awesome. Well, welcome, fellas, and I'm going to be asking you more questions about the raid and about your thoughts on all that kind of stuff. But let's talk a little bit about 8.2 and just about what you've seen so far. And I'll start with Cell. So what do you think about Mechagon and Nazjatar and the daily grind and how it's kind of changed and morphed over the last little bit here?
There's daily quests back, not just world quests, just dailies as well. And so somebody who used to do a ton of dailies back in the day, Netherwing and whatnot, I actually thought it was refreshing to see those back, as well as world quests. So
sure,
that's fine. I guess some of the models are like reused, but who cares about that? But
well,
at
least it's not like Miss Pandaria 5.1 dailies, where it was just dailies and dailies and dailies and dailies.
The Golden Pagoda.
The Golden
so I actually
Pagoda.
didn't play much in Miss because of that. I hated it.
Oh yeah, no, it was terrible. I know that I'm finding it a little bit challenging because I just don't feel like I have time right now. I'm busy like looking for a house and stuff. It's stupid.
You letting that IRL get at you, Patrick?
I know.
What did I tell you about that?
I gotta find a house.
Live outside. I don't care.
I gotta get out of this CTR command post and into my new headquarters.
You can move in with Platinum Wow _YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The wife and I will just move in with Platinum Wow. That'll be good. We'll just play classic all day.
Let my raid team infiltrate all aspects of your life, Pat. It's fun.
That'd be awesome. That'd be great. How about you, Alex? How are you finding 8.2? Are you liking it, or are you digging it?
I went crazy when 8.2 dropped.
Yeah.
Grinded out 55 on my neck.
Wow.
I did everything, and then got flying and shuttled Cellvian around to do all his dailies.
How long did it take you to get flying?
I think it was like a week and a half, 2 weeks. It wasn't long.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Like 3 days more.
So how many essences do you have? Do you know? Like are you talking like dozens, or are you just like a handful?
My best in slot is already rank 3.
Oh wow.
Already? Oh man.
Wow. All right.
I hate my life.
I need to play catch up on all that stuff.
Because like these two, like, can I just say, okay? I'm just so proud to have them here. First off, like, I can't stop grinning. But these two are like, Cell is our raid lead, and Alex is our strategist, co-raid lead, whatever. And they just, like, between these two, like, they both have like the drive and the knowledge and the natural ability to play video games well that I will never have that I am so jealous of. And like these two are just like, they're, like the North Star of the whole freaking team. And we do so well. I'm just so happy to have them here. I'm sorry, I had to get that out. I was going to say it at the beginning, but I forgot.
Well, it's good. I mean, you should be happy that your raid team that you're hanging out with your raid team, right?
I am, yes. And
right.
it's cool because like we needed people on the show to give us a very well-rounded, educated opinion of the fights and give the listeners like helpful tips and stuff. And you and I are incapable of doing that.
Well,
Patrick.
no, it's not that we're incapable of doing it. It's just that I prefer to have, I mean, especially for something like this, it's nice to have a few members of a raid team that can give a little bit different perspective, right?
Yes.
So, Cell, you know about the tanking aspects of things because you've experienced it. And Alex, you know kind of the big picture stuff. And Thyst, you know stuff too, I'm sure.
A lot of inappropriate stuff.
Which I'm sure that we'll get into as we go through. Speaking of which, Thyst, what did you think of the Eternal Palace? What did you went through?
It was real pretty, Patrick.
Oh, gosh. All right. Well, moving on. No, go ahead.
It looked real good.
It looked really good. It was really pretty.
No, it is pretty. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
The underwater level is not annoying. It's really fun and interesting. I don't know. We got the what was it? 6 out of 7?
7 out of 8.
7 out of 8.
7 out of 8.
Really quickly, it seemed. We only tripped up on NyQuil or Zen, whatever the hell his name is. We were at him for like 2 hours, and it wasn't one of those wipe fests where you just get super tilt immediately. It was more like you're doing the encounter and you're realizing that there is absolutely no way that you could do it off the bat. Like it's one of those ones where you have to keep progressing through the fight to unlock like more knowledge. Like it's like, okay, this is going to happen, so this is going to happen after that, and this is going to happen after that. So we spent 2 hours on that, but we got him. And at the end of it, like, a couple of us were like, oh, I hate this fight, but we didn't mean it. It's just what you say after 2 hours of wiping.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that like the raid is like that in general. Like first impressions are very good. The encounters seem very fresh and innovative and interesting. And the cadence is nice. Like the first boss isn't too hard, as it should be. There's a few loot pinatas scattered in there. There's a few that are very challenging that I know are going to be ridiculously hard in heroic. But no complaints here.
Okay.
And it is real pretty.
Okay. And we'll get to like a better description of the raid for those guys that haven't done it yet, or maybe are not quite as progressed or whatever, so that we can talk a little bit about helpful hints or just kind of mechanics in general, and what people need to do to maybe even get ready for it. I know that there are still people out there that are trying to figure out their essences and trying to figure out what all the new things are, and it's weird.
There's a lot.
There's
a lot.
So much with 8.2, right? I mean,
yeah, it's kind of overwhelming, especially at first, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, just both islands and trying to go back and forth and figure out what you're supposed to be doing.
I have so much crap in my bags all the time. And I can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, dude. Like,
I got a huge sack.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely hear you on the junk stuff for sure.
Yeah.
So,
I bet you do.
Yes, I do. All right, let's talk a little bit of, before we get to all that stuff. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on as we go into the news. And we start as always, and we'll probably end there too, unless we go into esports. We'll go into some Warcraft stuff.
A clever strategy.
Like we said, Azshara's Eternal Palace was out last week with normal and heroic. Today is Mythic and LFR Wing 1. I did not go into Wing 1. I decided to not do that.
That was a good choice.
It's the first day. It's always tough going into LFR on the first day.
Like we one-shot the first 3, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if you go into LFR, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. In LFR, you're not fighting the boss. You're fighting your peers.
The 25 other people in there or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the mechanic. I gotta deal with the LFR people. Okay.
The mechanics don't do as much, but the people do. The people do more. So to make sure that they hinder you. So at least that's the way it feels sometimes.
Hey, do you guys remember when we went into Nighthold LFR like way after the fact, and we were just like awful in there, and we kept like getting top deeps, and I think one of you was tanking, and we were just being terrible. Do you remember that? I remember.
Cell, do you remember that?
What raid was it?
It was Nighthold, and we went in there, and we were just like,
oh yeah, just shit on. Sorry.
We were progressing like way faster than everyone else because we were.
Hold on, I gotta put my dogs away 1 second.
No problem. But yeah, that stuff happens in LFR. Mm-hmm. It really does. So,
yeah, you're never safe.
It's good times. Is
it?
I don't know about that. But also, we now have the Mythic Race to World First, and I think that everybody will say yay to that one.
Yeah.
Yay to Race to World First. And now we actually have 2 different streams that we can watch because, like we were talking about last week, Red Bull did announce that they were going to be doing their Race to Mythic World First. And Method is doing their take on it as well. So now you've got 2 streams with all these different teams on it. And yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say to that. I mean,
go ahead.
So the Red Bull thing, right?
Yeah.
This is off topic. Esfon, right? He was like, he used to always drink Red Bull on his stream, right? And now today he tried to drink Monster Energy, the white can, and then he puked it up.
Was he doing it in protest or something?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I know that there were a lot of people on one side or the other of this deal where they were like, there's no way I am going to go check out the Red Bull stream. I'm only going to stick with Method. And Thyst, you were saying before the show that they had way more viewers on the Method side of things, right?
Yeah. Method at one point had like 23,000 and or 2,300, and I don't know. Red Bull's been like hovering around 9,000 at like peak times. But it is interesting. So some of the teams that are involved are exclusively broadcasting on one or the other, and some teams like Big Dumb Guild are broadcasting on both.
Right.
So it's interesting, and when NA started earlier this morning. EU hasn't started yet, actually, because they haven't had a server reset. When NA started, it was really fun to watch because, I'm watching Limit on Red Bull, and I'm watching Big Dumb Guild on the Method stream. Mm-hmm. And then when Limit takes a break, I'm watching Big Dumb Guild on Red Bull again. So it was weird, and like I didn't realize that was the case going into it. So I was like, I don't get it. But
right.
But it's
Did
just.
You have that stroke face while you did it too?
I absolutely did. I was like, what?
Ooh, good. Yeah.
But it's cool though because like both broadcasts are featuring a lot of people that we know, like lots of casters.
Yep.
Jack was on this morning for Red Bull. Then Rich showed up eating a burrito.
Yeah, it seems like all the MDI guys are on
almost
the Red Bull stuff, or at least Sloot's not
Titles. There. Yeah, and Sloot's not there. Titles is over on the Method side.
Right.
But yeah, and it's I've been like publicly neutral about all this, and I am like, I love Method, and I also think that Red Bull's doing a great job because I love Limit, and Pieces is really cool too, and they're exclusively on that broadcast. But like when you get down to it, it's what do you want out of this? Like, are you a diehard Method fan? Cool. Watch Method stream. Right. If not, if you just love the Race for World First, you got 2 broadcasts that are both 24/7 casted the whole way. And it's more coverage for World of Warcraft, and it's more coverage for you to enjoy. And we're in for a couple of days worth of like first, like they I think Limit got down 2 bosses. They got the first boss in Radiance, and Big Dumb Guild got Blackwater Behemoth first. And
Okay.
I think they've been stuck after that this whole time. So what they're doing is they're splitting up and going back into Heroic.
Yeah, they're
and
doing their splits for gear and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
They are. So it's
Right.
just cool to watch. And then they go and take breaks and stuff. And it's
Yep.
it's just really interesting.
So, Alex, have you been watching one stream or the other or both?
I've been watching the Red Bull stream.
Yeah. Have you been
So, yeah.
enjoying it? Have you been learning anything from it?
Yeah, I've already got stuff in the works for our heroic Ashvane attempts.
Oh man.
Is it good? Is it
like
good
I
stuff
should
or
be
bad
doing
stuff?
these.
Like you've got a plan, kind of getting
Yeah,
there.
I've got it all. I've got how we're gonna go into it, and we're gonna last when we killed normal. We did it in 3 bubbles. She had 3 shields.
Okay.
For our heroic kill, I want us to try and do 2, like Limit's doing.
Oh wow.
Limit strats in Heroic in 2019 in this economy. All right, that's fine. We could try that.
Right.
Would you say that like watching the race is beneficial for raid leaders and raiders in general? Like, do you think that it's easy to pick up these strats, or like?
It's a little bit of both. It's beneficial in the sense that you can see how the top end guilds are approaching these bosses, and you can kind of take those strategies and adapt them to your own raid group, which is what I did for our Unot kill. I
Okay.
adapted a bunch of mythic strats to our heroic kill. But then it's also not good because the top guilds are running very specific members in the raid team. Like
Yeah.
Limit's running 4 hunters, 3 mages.
Oh no!
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and it's cool too because they give a lot of detail as to why they're doing these things, or at least the commentators can give more information about why they might be doing certain strats a certain way, especially with hunters on Lady Ashvane, soaking up whatever, and I mean, just kind of like all these different little things. And it's really cool hearing such high level details as the Mythic first race is going on. I remember back in the day when we just had to like refresh WoW progress, and that's all we had.
Yeah.
And
then you'd be playing WoW, and someone would be like, "Oh, Method got this kill," and you'd be like, "Cool."
Right.
And that would be it. You
Well,
know?
and then what it was is that they went into like a live streaming type of thing, like live blogging of of what was going on, and they gave you a more of a timeline, and that's when Coltrane and I did a stupid bit.
Oh, it was genius with the sunglasses.
It was a sports bit where we were just like doing stupid sports guys like trying to run through the Mythic race, and it was a very long bit. It was very silly. So
Hey, we love long bits.
it was very weird. But then finally Method decided, hey, we can stream.
Yeah.
And that kind of changed everything, I think. So
It really did. It started with Old Deer, and that blew up.
Yeah.
I think it exceeded even their expectations, and they did it for Desarlor, and it was.
Did they do it at the end of Legion too, or was it just all in BFA?
I think it was all in BFA.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if they did it. I wasn't sure if they did it at the end of Legion, for I can't even remember the name, but I thought it was for the Gul'dan kill, but I'm not sure. Or for what's his name?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure
Sargeras.
it was just Old Deer as far as like streaming it goes. But
Right.
yeah, it's interesting. Like it was all very secretive because the top guilds don't want to give away their strats,
It was.
obviously.
And then they were like, well, you know what? Screw it. We're talking to everybody else anyway
Yeah, whatever.
about kind of what we're doing anyway. So let's just
Sure.
open it up and just say screw it. Because we have the best players in the world. I mean, it's like either like the best humble brag or the most arrogance you could ever have is just like, hey, we're going to go live stream it. Screw it.
Yeah, whatever. Exactly. And you got to feel confident and stuff. But like,
Yeah.
you have to completely no life it to have a life in World of Warcraft. And like these guys, like this is their profession. And, you know, not just because it's on stream doesn't mean that like, you know, me who plays as much WoW as possible is going to go, oh, that's how they do it. Okay. And go into Mythic and get the world first before them. It's not going to happen, you know? So
It's not? Oh, come on.
probably not. I don't know.
I mean,
You're still not topping meters. This.
Look, I know. It's a very bad expansion for me.
By the way, this is the reason that we have you guys here. It's not
Yeah,
so much.
please.
It's not so much for your insights as it is for a little bit of smack talk, especially
Especially
when it comes
towards me, because I give it to Pat all the time, and he just takes it
right.
like a little wuss.
In the rear.
Wow. So guys, who are you rooting for? Alex, let's start with you.
I want to see Limit take it.
You wanted to go back. You wanted to go to the NA. All right.
Yeah.
Cell, how about you?
Limit.
Limit. Thyst.
I don't know. Either Limit or Method or Big Dumb Guild. It would be cool if Limit took it, just because then you could say they took it to the limit.
And sing the song and all that stuff. Yeah. Nobody's picking Exorcist or anything like that. Nothing weird.
Actually, I'm gonna change up mine. I'm gonna go with Midwinter.
Midwinter. Wow.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
You never know.
No, you don't. That's kind of the fun thing about this deal is that you just don't know. Although I'm gonna go with Method. if I was gonna bet on it, I'm gonna bet on Method like every time.
I'm gonna not bet Method ever because I met Sko at BlizzCon and like he didn't even say hi to me. I was like, "Hey Sko," and he just like walked away.
Oh boy.
Listen, he was probably really busy, and you were probably really drunk.
He was drunk. I was sober.
Sure.
Wait, it was BlizzCon. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about your sobriety
Was it
level?
at BlizzCon?
I don't know. It was like 3 Coronas. I was fine. I was fine.
If all you're drinking is Corona.
Was that the BlizzCon you saw Seagull at Disneyland?
That was no. It was. This was last BlizzCon, so 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, Seagull was 2017.
Well, Method is so confident they've actually are selling T-shirts with the #1 kill for Azshara
Wow.
right now on their website. So if you believe,
That's
you can
bold.
go and buy that now instead of waiting a week and seeing what actually happens.
That's bold as a fresh Dorito chip.
Wow.
Gee willikers.
That is bold. That is bold. So let's talk a little bit about. Oh boy, I can tell it's already going to be one of those shows, isn't it? I knew this was a mistake.
Yep.
As soon as this said, "Hey, let's invite my raid team," I went, I guess we're doing that then.
I'm the smart lady, Patrick. I'm the smart lady.
So we're doing that. No, it's fine. And let's get into some of the bosses and see what kind of things you guys want to talk about as far as these go. Let's talk about the first one, Abyssal Commander Savara. Do you remember this? The blue-green boss?
We do. We winged it so hard.
We did.
We were scattered.
It was.
We're like, let's go.
I was like, this should be hurting us according to everything I read and watched. But I was just like, you're all standing in that. Okay, whatever. We killed it. We're fine.
Yeah. Well, and we were trying to do it right, like the right way, and so we ended up wiping on it like a couple of times, I think. And it's like, no, just start your puddles in the back of the room, and you'll be fine. By the time that I mean, if it's spread all over the place, stuff is going to happen. So,
it was spread for us.
It was very spread.
We didn't do it by the book at all.
Right.
We do the cooking by the book.
Yeah. Takes a rake to bake a cake.
Oh boy. The team that I was raiding with too is pretty new. And so like didn't really have all the gear and all that kind of stuff. So I think that they were most of the team members were like under 400 as far as
on my
as
team,
far as I know.
So yeah,
And then you
I put everybody before the raid came out.
Yeah.
And even before 8.2 came out, I put everybody through a gear boot camp.
Oh, wow.
And
Well, let's talk about that for a second, Alex. Let's talk about that before we even talk about the rest of the raid. So what kind of things do you have for folks to know about before they even set foot in there if they haven't yet?
Buy benthic pieces.
upgrade them at least once.
And you'll be topping meters in no time.
Is it that much of an upgrade?
I swapped to playing mage this tier, and the boots and the bracers at least are best in slot no matter what piece you get.
Really?
Even if it's a mythic piece, they're going to be the best in slot because the equip effects are so strong.
Really?
The bracers, depending on which ones you get, are either going to summon a pufferfish that I think when fully upgraded hits for 10,000 damage. And then your boots add an extra 3% critical damage across the board to everything that you do.
Wow. That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. Imagine also being a mage in this group. Doesn't feel great.
doesn't feel great to be the second mage.
Yeah, or even the third. Who knows?
Or any other mage. What other helpful hints do you have for folks to before they get in there, as far as like gearing or whatever? I mean, is the trinket and Mechagon really that awesome?
It's actually because they changed. We did Mechagon last Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we noticed that our yellow tickets that we were getting for drops were reading differently from their tooltip and when we put them in our trinkets.
The punch cards?
Our punch cards.
Yeah.
And so I did a little reading, and there was, I don't know if they ever fully announced the hotfix, but there was a hotfix where they reduced the power of the yellow ones and upgraded the power of the red ones.
Oh.
Right. Yeah, they mentioned that there's been so many hot fixes for 8.2 and I went into this last week, and it's like every single time. And now that the raid is opened, there were 3 straight days of hot fixes just for the raid. And then also there was some other stuff for PvP. They're nerfing some of the essences and stuff like that for PvP as well, even more than they nerfed them before. So it's just this constant.
Alex's fire mage got immediate nerf on his essence. On his
really?
The essence got nerfed before the raid came out.
Ugh. Man. Yeah, there was a whole bunch of stuff that kind of happened, and you have to pay attention to those patch notes as they come out, because that can change stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So anything else as far as gearing or what people need to do before getting in there too much?
Get your Mechagon rep to Revered, because then you can buy the red punch card, which is insane right now. It scales with versatility, so the more verse that your character has, the more damage it does. I think on my mage, it was hitting for 28,000 damage a tick. And it ticks.
A tick?
Yeah,
Nice.
and it ticks every 0.4 seconds for about 2 seconds, a little longer than 2 seconds.
Don't need that as a tank, guys. Don't.
But yeah, if you're looking for damage, that's the way to go.
Right.
That's why there's so many fire mages in the Race to World First right now.
Well, and plus fire mages scale better with gear, right?
They do.
So, I mean, we're just starting to see those specs take off right now, and even isn't Elemental one of those as well? Scales better with gear, and
I know a lot of it has to do with whose best in slot essence was available the earliest. And for Fire Mage, it was Lucid Dreams is their best in slot. So you could, like, I got mine rank 3 before the raid came out, so a lot of the high-end Mythic raiders have it rank 3. So Frost is the raid essence, so they're obviously not going to have that rank 3 right away.
Right.
Sure. Wow.
Interesting.
That's
Favoritism towards fire mages, apparently. Kind of.
Well,
Except for
I'm sure you're not too bummed about that.
Not at all.
Right.
Not at all.
Cell, any particular insights for tanks before even stepping in to into the raid at all? Is there a certain piece of gear or certain things that tanks should be doing before they get in there too much?
At least 52 on your neck. Level 52 on your neck gets you at least 3% more stam, which is quite beneficial. Everything hits like a truck in there, it seems like, minus one boss. But even the trash mobs, some of the trash mobs, they were destroying me.
I was noticing that like big time.
Yeah.
I mean, that like some of those tanks were just like yo-yos. I mean, their health bars were just it was crazy.
I'm not last two tiers I was doing monk, so I don't know if it's my paladin difference or not, but I was watching Dave too, or my other tank as well, and he was getting
well, and the monk has to do all the whatchamacallit,
stagger.
The stagger stuff. So that health bar is already moving pretty good, right? I mean,
well, kinda. It doesn't yo-yo as much, I guess.
Yeah, but it's usually like consistently lower, like all the time. It's like if you're not used to healing monk tanks, you're like freak out because you're like, what is going on? What are you doing? I feel like I need all the shields on the monk. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. And as far as tanking goes, other than the chonking damage that you're getting, how are you finding the raid overall?
No, it's compared to the last two, it's very good. It's so good, actually.
What's so good about it?
The boss fights are amazing compared to the other ones. They're not. Let's put it this way: our tanks and our healers have always somewhat carried our group a little bit more. And in this raid, shut up, Alex. In this raid, the tanks and the healers can do that a little bit more than they could in the past two of this expansion. So I'm very grateful for that finally, because if this isn't that good,
Wow.
sometimes.
Wow.
I actually suck. I really do. And you know what? It's fine.
It's about your passion for the game more so than your excellence at it.
It's not even that. It's just that I'm available.
I'm just another warm body that's just like, all right, I'll do it.
I'm
guys.
just here.
It's
fine.
Yep.
If we didn't have this, though, like the raids are super negative and we get mad at each other. So.
Oh,
yeah.
So
right?
that's nice.
Oh.
That's very nice. Now, Cell, speaking of, let's get into the bosses a little bit. For the first boss, green and blue boss, anything for tanks that they need to know?
On tank swap, run out to the edge.
Yeah,
Don't just stand there.
Yeah, no.
Because I didn't do that. For the first 50%, I was like, I read something about this. This shouldn't be happening.
Right. Alex, what should the raid know just in general?
Stack with your color.
Yeah, that's about it, right? I mean, it's not too difficult.
Yeah.
It's like if you are blue, don't get hit with green stuff unless you're dropping stacks, right? So
yeah,
unless you're dropping stacks, and I don't know exactly when that is because I wasn't paying too much attention. I was healing, and the bars were kept on going down and down. I'm like going, what is going on? And somebody said, drop your stacks. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it.
Sure, I can do that.
The only difference on heroic is if you're marked with blue, you have to move or you continuously gain stacks.
Right.
And if you're marked with green, you just stand still.
You shouldn't move at all.
Yeah.
If you can help it.
That sounds fun. I can't wait for that.
Right. Well, and as mages, I'm sure you guys don't care.
Yeah.
Too much.
I'll stand still. The whole raid, that's fine.
Right.
I'll just stand there. That's great.
That's cool. And then we move on to the underwater boss, which I thought was actually not too painful.
Yeah, can I just say, like, they had to do an underwater level, obviously, because we're under the sea. It's nautical. There's fish.
Sure.
But just the way
fish.
in which
yes,
there's fish, obviously, so there has to be underwater. But just the way that they did it, like, it could be really annoying. And it wasn't at all. It was actually really, really interesting. There's these platforms that you have to swim to. If you don't get there fast enough, this massive fish, he like yeets out of the darkness and grabs you and pulls you under. And it's just like, it's really actually funny to see. Who demonstrated for us? Was it Gerton? One of us was like, don't swim out here because then this will happen.
When you have the bioluminescence, when you have that green crap on you, do not swim out over open water because then your your DBM buzzer should go off, number one.
Should.
And then if that doesn't happen, after 5 seconds, you get chomped to death.
You get chomped.
You get one chomp.
But don't forget to click the membrane for oxygen-rich membrane stuff.
Yeah,
membrane, bro.
We brought somebody else into the raid on the second boss, and they didn't click that, and then they ended up drowning.
No, yeah, we had somebody drown actually.
Yeah.
Lemmy drowned.
I thought it was Ziggs.
Could have been.
Yeah, maybe, I don't remember.
These are all of our other raiders, by the way.
They're all.
You got to touch that membrane. We all had a great.
Unless you're undead. If you're undead, you don't technically have to touch it. You have underwater breathing.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Just remember that.
Right.
But you can't eat underwater either, so keep that in mind.
That's the other thing, is that you can't eat under there. So
yeah.
You get soggy, dude.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to eat soggy food. It's gross.
I get it.
So ideally, like, you're above the water on the shore, you eat, then you touch the membrane on your way into the cave, and then,
Right. And then you're fine.
Yeah, so you fight this big eel, and you get to a certain percentage, and he goes away. So that's when these like slipstreams come up behind you, and you swim towards them. They're kind of on the base of the platform, and it makes you go fast to the next platform. But there's like a whole like asteroid field of jellyfish, and you cannot touch them. And if you've ever played Echo the Dolphin, then you know exactly why. Because they sting you.
Right.
And
thanks, Steve Irwin. Too soon.
Steve Irwin. Yes.
Too soon.
Yes. But, I played Druid, so I don't really care. I just turn into a fish and I go.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I play Druid, actually, so it's actually fine. Whatever.
So it's totally cool. I like it a lot. No, it's fun-ish.
Are you gonna play Druid in Classic?
No. I think I'm gonna go Shaman.
Okay.
Actually.
Well, I'm gonna be playing Alliance, so you're dead.
No, you dead.
Well,
don't do it. I'm gonna tell you my plan.
I thought we had to camp Platinum WoW.
Yeah, we have to camp Platinum WoW.
You're gonna be. So you want to play with Platinum WoW? You don't want to camp it.
Yeah, he's my buddy. He's my friend.
We absolutely have to gank him at every opportunity.
I plan on playing on whatever side I want to.
Oh.
So Shaman on one side, and then I don't know what the other one is on the other side. Maybe Hunter. Who knows?
Guess we'll find out the hard way.
As long as they can fix all those stupid bugs that they found on Hunter. There's so many bugs. Anyway.
Sorry to sidetrack.
That's right.
Please forgive.
That's half of this show. That's half of this show. Then we get to, so then after that we get to Radiance of Azshara, which is basically like the last boss in Eye of Azshara, the dungeon.
On cocaine.
Yeah, on cocaine. So now, Alex, which strat are you guys doing for that? Are you splitting, or did you split, or did you just do Ring Around the Rosie?
The entire first week of this raid, I was sick, so I didn't watch any videos.
Nice.
And we went into it blind, basically. Cellvian gave the brief rundown. If you were paying attention, good. If you weren't, good luck.
Right.
That was our first week experience.
We did not split, Pat.
So you just did like a Ring Around the Rosie type of thing where you just kept on moving?
Yeah.
That actually works out pretty well. And I think that for a lot of groups that would be the way to do it. I mean, obviously, for Mythic, it becomes more of a deal where you have to split the group because there are two of those ads that spawn in the intermission phases or whatever.
I think that's what Limit was doing. So, yeah.
So, I mean, because you kind of have to move that way. But if for just normals or heroics, it should be fine. So I think it goes fast, though. It's super fast. That's one of those.
Fast. It's only got 2 phases, right?
Yeah.
And I think that one's my favorite right now. And it shouldn't be by all intents and purposes because I'm a mage, but it literally just
was so pretty.
It was really pretty, and it reminded me of Immersius, and that fight was really pretty too. Oh my god!
But no, there's tornadoes all over the place and bombs that go off, and I find that like angling the camera down, like completely is helpful for the tornadoes, because a lot of the time, like it's so chaotic and there's so many tornadoes around you that you kind of don't really know if they're going to touch you or not. And then you do a lot of unnecessary moving if you're a caster.
Yeah.
So just angle it down. You'll find that a lot of them aren't touching you as much as you think they are. And then the second phase, you go and you pop one of the bubbles and it spawns another tornado. But you go through and you kill the mini boss in the ads. And then this mini boss has like something called like Jimmy Buffett, something. And he tries to yeet you off the platform.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
It's called Margaritaville, and it's
Yes.
yeah,
Margaritaville. You have to interrupt Margaritaville before you get yeeted off the platform.
right.
But yeah, I liked it because I like fights that force me to use my movement utility and my ice blocks and stuff. It's exciting.
Yeah, the thing about that fight that I found was that you really did have to position yourself correctly on that mini boss, because you get thrown up in the air and then you're off the platform or whatever and dead.
Yeah.
So that's always lovely. I like that stuff.
I got yeeted 3 times.
Way to go, Alex.
Did I?
You were
You didn't
sick.
even
You don't
remember.
know. You were.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I still topped the fight though.
That's all that matters. Mechanics don't matter.
Right.
Top of meters, that's what matters.
Right. Lady Ashvane.
She was a thick girl.
Yeah.
Very. She had these like big wobbly arms, and what did you say about her face? It was like a shell shucking face. Like a
Like, shook her so
I think it was.
hard.
I think it was Rich Campbell. I think Rich Campbell called her Lady Thickvein.
Lady thick vein.
Lady Thickvein.
It's like a deep vein thrombosis or whatever it's called. What is that?
I don't know.
What is that?
That's what you get when you travel to Australia.
I
Right?
didn't get that.
No, you didn't. It's a good thing too, because that'll end you.
Oh,
So Lady Ashvane, there's corals, there's bubbles, there's a very nautical theme with all of her spells. Alex, any big raid suggestions?
When you get trapped in a bubble at some point, please stack that with the other people that are getting trapped in a bubble.
Because that's one tank plus 2 others, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And our group had very difficult time doing that.
And meanwhile you're kiting her kind of around in a circle, right?
Correct.
At the same time. So hopefully the tank that's getting bubbled will go out in front, right? And then or stack in the center or something like that.
I was moving. I was the one getting bubbled most of the time, and I was I was moving to closer to the center because
That's where all the casters are, right?
they didn't know how to move properly, I guess.
I'm sorry. I was literal.
Sure.
But remember that, folks. Stack your bubbles.
Right.
And, there's that weird mechanic where like 2 of you with the same color have to flank a coral with that color. Is that right? And then the coral blows up.
Yeah,
I
you
was
basically
getting tilt.
get like a laser
People
beam
for that.
between you guys, and so then it will zap a coral or whatever. That's kind of a weird mechanic, right?
Yeah. If you're both next to each other and you're both marked with the same color, let the class with more mobility run away and get to the other side of the coral.
Good point.
Just makes life easier.
Yeah.
Good plan.
Yeah,
Very-
definitely.
very nice.
Oh, I never would have thought of that.
Sell anything for tanks?
That was a boring fight.
Okay. All right.
Just moved around a lot.
All right.
You just move a lot. That's it. Just go clockwise and backpedal. The
Right.
only time you should backpedal.
What about Gorgonzola, the cheese boss? The next
What?
one. The cheese boss. The next one. Gorgonzola.
Which one?
I had to look at the
Orgazoa. Orgazoa. This is the squid looking one.
The Metroid?
Yeah.
Okay, real fast. Pause.
Yeah.
Pausing.
This one has a lot of mechanics. I was like, we're probably not going to one-shot this. We one-shot it. And then Muwaki, our hunter, died to the easiest part, which is the gauntlet running downstairs, because he just yeeted off the edge. And then we still killed it, and it's like, imagine being that guy not saying half the fight.
Right. And I know that he's in chat right now, so...
Imagine being that guy.
Right. Imagine being that guy.
Taking the L when the rest of the team took the W.
Right.
You hate to see it, but you do love to see the whole fight.
Maybe next time. Maybe this week.
Yeah, maybe this week.
Probably not. But
he's mad in chat. He's pretty mad right now, dude.
It's a clean show, Milwaukee. We can't repeat what you're saying.
This is why rating is so much fun.
Yes. But that looks like a pretty cool fight, and even with the running down, which is kind of maybe a little annoying.
There's a dancing mechanic, and we haven't had a dancing mechanic since what, Wrath?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It was like,
wow.
It's been like that. Obviously, Nax was that dancing mechanic was way better, but this one is, it was solid. It was quick. It was fast paced. You can't do anything while it's going on, so it makes you stop everything you're doing.
Fire mages can DPS.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Scorch.
We're the favorites right now.
Sure.
I tend to fully enjoy it. But yeah, a good dance mechanic is, once you have it down, you feel like a genius. Or at least I do. I don't know about you guys.
It's like the cha-cha slide.
It's important to feel good, right?
Good. And that's how I feel good IRL, is through WoW. It's just like, I may be living with myself and have to look at myself in the mirror every day, but at least I'm moderately good in World of Warcraft. Woo!
Well, you found something, and that's important.
Found something.
Right. Anything. Just anything. This point.
Hey, I'm not picky.
How was the Queen's Court? This is the two bosses that need to die within 15 seconds of each other, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How was that fight, Alex?
It was one heck of a mess for our kill. Everybody, I think at one point, everybody that was on, we had our DPS split so that they could die within a reasonable time from each other. And I'm pretty sure everybody on one of the bosses died. So we had to then split our already split DPS.
Oh, wow.
That just means that we're good under pressure.
Or something.
Some of us are. The ones that managed to stay alive, great under pressure.
So how many people survived for the W on that one? Was it just like two people?
No. It's like 2 heals, 3 DPS, both tanks.
Nice.
I think that was our kill. Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Out of 15. Out of 15. Yeah.
It's not like the negative 1% win, like where one guy's remaining and you're like going, "Come on, Jimbo, let's go!" and he's like firing off whatever and just trying to dance away from the boss long enough to kill it. So yeah. I always kind of like those though, where like your first win is the worst ever. Yeah. No, it's good.
Give you something to like.
It's good. It's good. It's good fun. It's just good fun. And then you guys stopped on Zakul, right? You downed Zakul.
Down Zakul.
That fight was litty, bro.
That fight was cool.
It was cool. Cell, how was it for tanking?
Hell. It was
right.
So phase 4,
because it's like this is 4 different phases and it's all like fear-based reality twisting nether stuff, right?
So phase 4, right? You have the ability, everybody has the ability to go whatever realm they want to go into, right? So tanks had to stay up, they had to stay at the top. Now it's a DPS check, so there's an ability that allows, if you get the boss to stand in a circle, he takes 30% more damage for 20 seconds. And so, but the problem to that is you can only see that ability when you're in one phase down. So the nether, fear realm. Yeah. So we would literally be having our healer screaming, they're at this mark, and we would run the boss over there blindly, like, am I on top of it?
Is it in?
Is it in?
Oh boy.
And so we would run him all the way over there.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you need to go 2 steps to your left. I was like, it's a circle.
Yeah. Clockwise, counterclockwise.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Well, that's kind of fun though. I mean, it just to have to do the communication thing and really work with the rest of your team, right?
we
Yeah.
wiped a ton on that boss actually, but we spent like 2.5 hours on it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was so fun, it didn't even seem like a half hour had passed.
Wow.
Absolutely. It's just one of those fights where you have to progress and progress and progress and wipe to not only to figure out because everybody it was like Cell said, everybody had the ability to go wherever, and it's hard to know like where you should be and who needs what because we're all learning this at the same time in real time. So it was absolutely chaotic, and going into was it like fear and hysteria or something like that.
Fear and hysteria. That's
Yeah. I only remember that because of the song.
So, Alex, do you have any suggestions for people on this fight as far as how to decide that?
No, he's in hysteria the whole time. Just
It's yeah. So what we ended up doing was, because for phase 4, little pools, little eyes come down and you stand on it and it sends you to hysteria. We just kept our top 3 DPS in hysteria, and if they got knocked out, if you died in the hysteria realm, you just got sent back up to the top realm.
Okay.
And we'd have a healer that was up there top you off, and you'd go right back down. And you would just DPS the boss until you got kicked out again. Fun fact about the hysteria realm: if the ads in there hit you, they stun you for 5 seconds.
Oof.
If a second ad hits you, it resets the stun.
Ah.
So you can be stun locked in hysteria, but not dying.
Ah.
You're just stuck there doing nothing, which I was for our kill.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, I was stuck there for like 2 times.
That's the worst. That is the worst.
Yeah, and then Fear Realm is a bunch of ads that you have to kill.
Okay.
So we just sent, basically, if you weren't one of the top 3 or a tank and a healer, you were going to the Fear Realm, dealing with that stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but
Thyst, where were you?
I was in the fear realm. I was just doing my part, man. But
Right.
then you're getting stacks, right? And you have to get out of that realm to drop them off, but they don't drop immediately. You got to stand there. And then sometimes you need to be out of there to hit the boss, and sometimes you don't need to be, and it's unclear at first.
Sure.
And it's not even like the fight is like hard per se, but it's just like there's literally 3 levels of things going on at the same time. Meanwhile, the sky opens up randomly and a giant tentacle comes out and pokes whoever's in front of it, and it does massive damage, and you get thrown, and it really hurts, and it can be anywhere, like
Well,
in the circle.
That's what
So-
WoW needed more of this expansion.
More tentacle poking?
Random tentacles. Yeah.
Milwaukee
Yeah.
knows about that tentacle too.
he made good friends with him.
Was it while he was falling off the stairs? Anyway.
Probably.
I mean, he was
Man,
getting
we all
knocked
got
off.
hobbies.
And now he's gonna say some more stuff in chat here in a minute. It'll be
Yeah.
hilarious.
But literally, if I could say anything about that fight, 2 things. 1, go into it knowing that there's a learning curve. Like it's going to take a while to get used to it. And 2, watch out for that tentacle. Honestly, it just come out of nowhere. Even if people call it out, it's like, it's coming out left. It's like, I'm in some dimension. I don't know where you are. And it is a circle.
It's a circle.
Circle.
It is a circle.
We marked put down the raid markers around the circle too, so that helps.
Like a clock.
Yeah.
Like a clock, and we were like, just go to orange,
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Coming out orange.
Did you guys get any pulls in on the last boss at all?
Troll pull. Somebody pulled and we all hurt out.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you bow to Azshara,
Yeah.
you become hostile to your friends. So we killed Milwaukee a few times there.
If you spit at her, I think, was
Stop.
it spit?
Yeah.
If you
You
spit
like-
at her, she makes you barf, and your barf damages your friends.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good.
she
And if
doesn't
you
like it.
and if you do that during the previous boss, right? She'll just smite you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
She'll just one shot you. I think that's the
Yeah,
way that it goes.
She's got no time for us, you know. She's not here for trolls.
But then she laughs or something, right? So I mean, it's all kind of, you know, who knows? I know that
She's kind of mental.
right. She does like a good show, but she, you know, if you're gonna disrespect her, she's gonna just end you.
Yes.
much.
Put her tentacle in
Yeah.
orifices.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And, you know, in any time, anywhere in the circle.
So, question for you guys: who's your favorite boss? Cell, who's your favorite boss for tanking, specifically?
Even though it's a cluster, it is, what's his name? The one we just talked about.
NyQuil.
Zakul?
Cool.
The cool.
Zakul.
That one's because it's interactive. It's very interactive. You have to be watching everything, and then I was also having to, you know, yell at people to not stand in a tentacle. So
Sure.
it's very interactive. And the fact that I have to be told where to move the boss to, because I can't see it myself.
Yeah,
Literally.
it's kind of an
interesting.
interesting concept, right? It's
Yeah.
like that's pretty neat. Alex, how about you?
Probably Zakul for if I'm just DPSing. Overall, the Blackwater Behemoth is my favorite fight in the entire raid.
Why is it your favorite?
I like the underwater aspect of it. I really want to do it on Mythic.
Okay.
I think it's just going to be a really fun fight.
What's the so on Mythic it shoots out a beam, right?
Yeah, it shoots. It's basically like the poison spears from what's her name, the Naga boss in Tomb of Sargeras,
Okay.
where everybody has to line up between the target and her.
Yeah, they do this all the
it-
time on
yeah.
lots of different bosses. So
Yeah, but they haven't done it with a 3-dimensional aspect to it,
that's true.
and
That's
that's what I
true.
find interesting.
That is kind of cool. And you want to make sure that you're not stacking up too close, because otherwise then you get electrocuted, right? So
Yep, and the pufferfish management and
the DPS check is probably a lot higher.
Yeah, it changes platforms every like minute and a half.
Right.
So you could DPS race it and try and beat it on the second platform if you really wanted to.
All right.
Yeah, I'm excited to try and beat it on the second platform.
Nice.
Oh, you can do that?
I mean, it's timed, but
Yeah.
people have to get good, I guess. But yeah, it's theoretically we
Gotta
could.
gear up and all that kind of stuff too. So
Yeah.
yeah. Thyst, how about you? What is your favorite boss?
I had the most fun on Radiance so far.
Why is that?
I don't know. I really have no idea. I don't know. It was fast. It was interesting.
It was very fast.
I don't know. I tend to like bosses that force me to blink a bunch. I think out of everything a mage can do, blinking is the thing I'm best at. So if I can do that a bunch, I feel pretty godlike.
It's not
So
any of the damaging spells or anything like
No.
that. No.
I'm
It
just
is,
really good at blinking.
That is it. That is it.
That's my thing. So
Alright.
yeah, but I don't know. I expect that to change. I usually have the more familiar I get with the boss, the more my opinions change on it. But overall, I'm so happy, and it seems like the only issue I've had with any of the raids lately is
Mhm.
that some of the bosses, at least to me, seem to run together a little bit. Like in Aldir, I couldn't even. There's some bosses in the middle that are very different.
Sure.
But after you like aren't in that raid every week for a while, it's just like, oh yeah, there's the derpy one, and then there's the one with the donuts on the ground. It's like, oh yeah. Oh, and then there's the one that made me like gestate or something, and like I don't know. It's I don't know if it's a me thing or if it's just like a lot of those bosses, like the encounter space looked similar, or the mechanics were a little bit too similar or something like that.
Sure.
Because like those 3 bosses that I just mentioned kind of run together in my mind. But then you have like the rest of the bosses, the ones out on the open plane, and then like the floor falls through, and then you fight that one, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that they did a really good job with the different environments for all the different bosses.
Yeah,
so.
I think that's what I'm saying. It's from what I'm seeing so far, everything seems very, very unique, and
Cool.
I think the mark of a good raid is doing this for a year and still being at least mildly excited every week to do it. And I think that this raid could stand the test of time for me. So
All right, cool. And I know that a lot of people are kind of that same thing. Watching the Mythic Race to World First streams, it seemed like commentators on both sides were saying how nice this raid was aesthetically, and that the bosses were all pretty different and kind of echoing the same sentiments as what.
Which
you
one
just
did
said.
you like, Pat?
I don't know.
If you say they're not good,
yeah,
they're great.
No, it's not that they're not good. It's just I don't know what my favorite is yet.
Okay.
I just don't know. I like the first one because I like the idea of the blue and green sides and not stepping in the stupid stuff. And although that one was probably a little bit tame, Radiance is very fast, and I kind of dig that as well. And I was healing on my druid, so I didn't have to worry about anything because it was just all hot. So I'm like running around, jumping all over the place, just going, who cares? And everybody else is like, oh my God, we're moving so fast. So that was fun for me, at least. I guess we'll have to see when I get toward the end of the raid. So I don't know. So that is kind of an overview from the Blood of the Scribe team for
some of us.
For a few of you.
There are a few more.
And Milwaukee chiming in on the chat room, which we can't say what he's saying because it's not appropriate. But that's kind of like the overview. And of course, if you guys want to give us your stories or anything like that, feel free to email or tweet at us or DM us in
Yes, please. We want to hear what you guys think.
And yeah, tell us what you guys think about this raid, and we may mention that on the future show. Who knows? That sounds so cheesy, but it's true. But it's true. Hey, can you guys stick around for esports for a little bit?
Yeah.
Sure.
Beautiful. We'll do a little bit of esports wrap up of the weekend because it was a huge weekend. All right, everybody, Johnny Flapjack here. No, it's not. So this last weekend was pretty cool, and I know that I think you guys, you watch Overwatch League, right?
Of course.
Okay.
I watch it at work. I got written up for it the other day.
Oh boy. We don't need that. Alex, are you an Overwatch League fan or?
I am. I put it on.
All right. Did you guys watch this weekend? Big Stage 3 finals, and man, I was not expecting this. I was not expecting that.
Nobody was.
I was not expecting the Shanghai Dragons, who were seated number 8 in the whole damn thing, that they would beat NYXL and then steam through the Titans. I mean, they just blew right through them, and then take it to 7 games with San Francisco and beat those guys in the finals, and win Stage 3. So congrats to the Shanghai Dragons. That's awesome. 0-40 last year. This year
0-42, Pat. The worst losing streak in esports history.
Right, and now they're Stage 3 winners.
Yes.
So that's pretty awesome. Next year they're not going to have stages.
No, next year is going to be a complete homestead method. So every game is going to be elsewhere, not at the Blizzard Arena at all, and there aren't going to be any stage playoffs.
So they're not doing stages; they're doing divisions for next year. So you'll have
4 divisions:
Atlantic, Pacific, and then you'll have North, South for Atlantic and East, West for Pacific, and they'll have I don't know.
Yeah, so this is cool. So for 2020, like that was their plan all along. Their grand plan is for every team to have their own stadium. Not every team's going to have that in time, but teams like Dallas Fuel, who already do, and I think Philadelphia is going to have one as well.
They have 2.
Yeah.
Atlanta has one too, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Do they? Because
I
they had. No, they
so.
had a homestead, but they had theirs at the Cobb Center.
Oh,
okay.
Which
Right.
isn't like, but so every team gets to host at a venue of their choice in their like home area.
Mhm.
And this is cool because like it's going to give, the players, it's going to be amazing for them and the coach staff to like go and visit, not only every state, but like different countries and stuff like that.
Sure.
It's going to procure like tons and tons of jobs for people looking to work in esports or broadcasting or what have you, looking to work at like studios and stuff. And like this is the first esport that's like literally adopting your typical North American traditional sport way of life. And I feel like that's going to just explode Overwatch League even more so than it already has been exploding.
Well, and it's going to explode esports too, because a lot of these areas, like I know Atlanta and Toronto and I think New York and stuff like that, they have multiple teams in multiple different leagues because with what was it Call of Duty? They announced that they were doing a similar deal where they were doing city leagues and stuff like that. So now they're going to be going off into that, and I know that a lot of the same areas had teams going in there as well. So and a lot of the same owners. So it's kind of nice to see them being able to have these stadiums and then have like 2, 3, 4 different leagues kind of go through those and
totally. And I think the more people that experience a live esport event, the more they get hooked, like that first one that you experience, like whether it's at BlizzCon or even like a viewing party that somebody in your community puts on just to watch Overwatch League on a TV together. Like once you watch esports with a bunch of people who are also like super jazzed on watching esports, you can't not do it again. So like this is really exciting to me.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you guys, on top of watching Overwatch League, also watch like StarCraft or anything like that. You guys are probably both smart enough to watch something like StarCraft 2, and it was actually pretty cool because Cyril, who is like the king of StarCraft right now, everybody just adores him, and they're like, this guy is a StarCraft god and has been for the last, really couple of years. He was actually beaten by a kid. The new kid in town, Raynor, who is, I think he's 17?
Oh, come
or
on.
18 or something like that. He just started in the WCS, I think the summer last year. So, he was finally of age, and now he's beating Cyril, who's, he's the king. So he's the god of StarCraft. So he just beat the god of StarCraft. So that's amazing. So congrats to Raynor.
I hear the younger you are, the better your reaction time is, and as you get older, it goes down.
Sure.
Is that your excuse?
No. And yes.
Right. So there was that, and then also this last weekend was Hearthstone Grandmaster playoffs, and those guys sent 3 different folks from the different from APAC and EU and NA to the Hearthstone Global Finals at BlizzCon, and those people are Surrender from APAC, Phenomenal from EU, and PNC from NA. So congrats to those guys. It was a big weekend for Blizzard Esports. And it kind of continues because we've got AWC Cup number 4 for NAEU this weekend.
Yep.
That'll be awesome. We also have MDI coming up, and make sure if you wanna be a part of it, sign up because
July 21st is the cutoff date, I believe.
Right. Are you Alex? Are you going to be going into the MDI?
I have been asking these guys to start up a team.
No.
So have you guys been doing a lot of M pluses lately?
I did one. I did a 10 last week.
And the 10s are actually a lot harder now because they upped the health and damage from the mobs, right? By like 30%. Was it? No, it was like 8. I can't remember what it was.
I forget what their percentage was too.
But it was basically to compensate for the eye level boost that we've had. They just upped everything. So it's definitely, if you do a 10 now, it doesn't feel like a 10 from a few weeks back. where you're just kind of rolling it, right?
Oh God, could you imagine?
I didn't have that much of a problem doing it.
Did you? So how is the beguiling affix, the new thing?
It's pretty neat. I like it a lot. I mean,
well, it's three different dudes, right? And you got to figure out which one it is and where they are. And
they're really easy to figure out which one they are because the shadow one looks just like a giant shadow priest. So
perfect.
I think the arcane one has a giant bubble around it.
Nice.
And either we didn't have a frost one, or we skipped the frost ones because I don't remember it.
Probably.
Which one is the one with true sight? The one that can see stealth.
I think that one might be frost.
Yeah,
it's not arcane.
People are saying skip that if you can. I think that's the word on the street.
Yeah, when the majority says skip it, you should probably skip it.
Right. So yeah, that's cool. And then so for the other esports, we've got Overwatch League returning on the 25th, so we got a couple of weeks off for that. We've got Hearthstone Masters. Seoul is the next Hearthstone thing, and that's mid-August. So we're kind of on a break from Blizzard Esports for a little bit, other than AWC, of course.
Yeah.
So,
which is good. And the World First race is probably
and the World First race.
Yeah, into next
who's
week.
ahead? Who's ahead? Should we check?
I think Limit's still ahead right now.
Well, let's. I'll check WoW progress. We have
still tied up.
We have Big Dumb Guild at first on WoW progress.
Oh, really?
And then Limit, and then Midwinter, and then Vision, Blood Legion. There's like how many teams are there at 3 of 8? There's
30 of them.
There's boy.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Not counting EU yet. So
I guess that Lady Ashvane is a little bit of a wall.
She is, absolutely.
She's
a
big wall. She's a big wall. She's a big wall right now.
She's checking
Dummy
plans.
thick.
Oh boy. All right. Well, I know what that means. It's time to go, everybody. Thanks, Cell and Alex, for joining us tonight. We really do appreciate it. We like that you were here. You gave some good insights, and we had a little bit of fun. Obviously,
a little bit.
Obviously, it doesn't represent what it's like in chat with you guys when we're actually raiding at all.
That's why we don't stream raid,
which is
Pat.
probably not a bad thing.
Yeah. People are always asking, like, oh, this, you raid so much, do you stream it? And I'm like, I cannot do that.
Right.
I cannot.
TOS could be an issue.
Absolutely.
So
I feel, yeah.
Right. We want everybody to feel comfortable.
Yeah. Remember when Blizzard hired me? That probably wouldn't have happened if I'd streamed my raids.
Sure.
Just saying.
All right. So we will, I think, sell Alex. What's your goal for this week for your raid team? Are you gonna just clear normals again? Is that
clear normal and at least 2 to 3 bosses on Heroic.
Ooh.
I think.
Ooh. All right.
Amazing.
The gauntlet is thrown. Now that you guys have been through it, I'm sure that'll be fine though.
Yeah.
So, I'm guessing you'll be okay. All right. Well, then I will. I'm gonna stop this music and I'm gonna play this one. There we go. All right. And I need to find my notes. Where are my notes? There they are.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. So that will do it for the show. Thank you guys so much for joining us once again. Thyst, as always, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And Twitch chat, as always, thank you guys. You're keeping it weird, especially when Milwaukee comes around and starts cussing all the time. If you want more Convert to Raid in your life, you can get it at converttoraid.com. That's the big place anyway. Videos, audios, the Convert to Raid podcast network, all that kind of stuff is all over converttoraid.com. And that is going to be it for the show. So once again, thanks guys. Thanks to all you guys at home or on the road or at work or scuba diving. I don't know. It could happen. Right?
What?
No.
Probably not.
Absolutely not.
Probably not. All right. Well, thank you all for listening, and we will see you next time. Until then, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Hey, love you, Pat.